Hey everyone, I'm Will.
And I'm Caleb.
Welcome to the Retrek Review Podcast, a podcast where we talk about every single episode of Star Trek chronologically. But here's the best part. Caleb hasn't seen a single episode.
What is Star Trek? Is it like Star Wars? I've seen Star Wars.
So don't click off this video, because if you do, you won't see Caleb's unique view of what the episode we're about to watch is.
I hated it.
You heard it here. Computer, begin program.
Increase to full power!
Gives me the creeps. I feel like something's watching us.
Savick, you go right on quoting regulations.
Hello, computer.
I knew I needed that.
You betrayed your uniform!
Target their cargo hold. Time to take out the garbage.
Smooth as an android's bottom, eh, Data?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Aspires to be better than I
Come on. It's gonna be fine.
5 years in space. God help me.
This is the best day of my life!
A phaser? You didn't use it?
Swords are fun.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Very good, very good.
Welcome back to another Retrek Review, where each week we talk about Star Trek, and this week we're talking about Episode 3 of Season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. And that episode is entitled The Survivors. It originally aired October 9th, 1989. It was written by Michael Wagner, who had also wrote with Michael Piller on the episode Evolution. It was directed by Les Landau, who had also directed Code of Honor, The Schizoid Man, and Samaritan Snare. He had been first assistant director on several other episodes throughout season 1 and a couple in season 2, but those are the ones he mainly directed, all by himself.
Nice.
The synopsis for The Survivors is: the Enterprise investigates two survivors living on the only undamaged patch of land on a devastated planet.
That's true.
We had some guest stars as well for this episode. We had John Anderson as Kevin Uxbridge. John Anderson, a character actor. One of the interesting things that I found that he played in was the 1960s Psycho as California Charlie. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
And Anne Haney as Rashawn Uxbridge. Her face is pretty noticeable to people from the 90s. She played Mrs. Sellner in Mrs. Doubtfire and Greta in Liar Liar.
Yep.
And she's
She was
obviously been
great.
in a ton of other stuff. So, yeah. So that was the introduction to the episode. But before we get into comments and subscribers to the channel, let's first head on over to Caleb and ask Caleb, what did he think of the episode?
Man, I actually really enjoyed this episode.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'll give it a 2 Akuda this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was refreshing. I enjoyed the story. I thought the plot was good. It was different from stuff I've seen in Star Trek before, which I
Yeah.
thought was cool. And I thought everybody kind of acted pretty well this week.
Generally.
Yeah, it wasn't anything too over the top. I think my only criticism, I think Picard kind of put stuff together too quickly and kept it to himself, which was weird. But
Yeah.
other than that, I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I have that in my notes as well, and obviously we'll discuss it when we get there, but
And he's almost like smug about it,
a little bit.
Stupid morons. Maybe just because I spend more time with Q. I understand it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a strong episode. I think it's one that almost everybody remembers. Everybody, I don't know, when you see those two, the Uxbridges, like everybody can remember is like every beat of the episode. It's very famous, and I want to say very well liked. Can't imagine anybody's really upset about it. So
It was good.
glad you
Yeah,
liked
it
it.
was good. I liked the plot. I even liked the kind of the twist, you know. I thought it was good.
Well, very good. Well, before we get into our review of the episode, let's first, right off the bat, and we thank Ed Mark Starr and Captain Olimar for their Patreon support. We appreciate them being on there and giving us some extra help with the podcast. We specifically thank Ed Mark Starr for keeping his eyes out on looking at a desolate, destroyed world, making sure no patches of grass reappear. And we also appreciate Captain Olimar for putting things together and perhaps knowing things that he shouldn't know well in advance. He's a man of many mysteries. And as supporters of the channel, they get their comments read during the podcast. So we look back at our other episode, The Ensigns of Command, and Ed Mark Starr left a comment on that. He says, "Let me start by channeling my father. So in the distant future, colonists crash on a planet, but they attempt no contact with potential rescuers. Broadcast no distress signal to let the intergalactic Coast Guard find them. Meanwhile, the Shellyak file no complaints over trespassers on their property to the appropriate government and offer no location mapping to expedite removal of the trespassers. My dad would then ask me how far in the future is Star Trek."
Very.
You can imagine how Dad could take the fun out of any TV show. In 1989, I fully enjoyed The Ensigns of Command because Data's task is fascinating. Betcha a human officer would have requested additional helpers almost immediately at the first signs of resistance. Data tackles the assignment as requested. I knew that Data would be successful, but it was fun to see how he did it. I give this episode one Akuda. I appreciate all the points that his dad potentially either could have brought up or did bring up.
Yeah.
Because those are all very excellent points that I think the writers just, I don't think it was a thing where they didn't think about it. I think they just didn't want to because otherwise you don't really have an episode, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes on, now you see how Ensigns of Command highlight the importance of intergalactic diplomacy and intergalactic law and justice. A starship is not the venue for matters of trespassers and violations of property rights. A starship can transport an official Federation delegation and law enforcement to deal directly with the colonists. This is an example of a story that dilutes the importance of rule of law plays in Starfleet Federation matters in favor of highlighting the importance of Commander Data. He says, after all this, Brett Spiner is outstanding throughout this episode.
Yeah. He's like a scarecrow. He's outstanding in his field.
That's right. The funny thing is, and again, it just harkens back, and he knows this as well, that it just harkens to the point that, like, oh, I don't know how the show would work if they were like, this is the problem, and then out of the, like, thousands of people on board, they were like, well, here's our, like, diplomat and, like, essentially, like, Peace Corps, like, law enforcement, like, we're going to send them down to the planet, and they're going to, like, handle this issue, and then
Right.
we'll go and, like, look over the treaty and talk to the Shellyak.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not fun.
It's not a fun TV show to watch. But the other thing is too is I think, okay, let's say that isn't like that. It's like maybe kind of write to that a little bit. Like maybe explain that the intergalactic diplomacy ship or law and justice ship, like, can't get there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. The Shellyak are coming in 4 days. You're the closest ship. Can you just kind of like mitigate things until we get there? And now it's like put on the Enterprise.
Yeah. I think that I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like from a practical standpoint, like that makes sense to me that they would have like a diplomat like that on board to resolve issues.
Yep.
Well, basically, I think it comes down to it just being the captain's job.
Right, exactly. He then goes on to give us a popcorn award, which we'll get into in our Hailing Frequencies Open video. And then next on the same review, we have a comment from Captain Olimar. He says, splendid, splendid, carry on. We have sheet ghosts, aliens, and a data-heavy episode, the makings of a Star Trek classic.
What's not to like? Yeah.
I like this one. It didn't blow my mind, but a generally favorable episode.
Yeah.
I can't think of any part of the episode that I wanted cut or thought was embarrassing, which is, think, I don't know, the kissing stuff is probably the only.
Yeah. I get why it's there, you know. I
Yes.
get like trying to make data human and relevant
Yeah.
and that's fine. I don't have like a major problem with that, but
Yeah.
it just feels forced sometimes.
Yeah, totally. And I think in general, I 100% agree with him. I think that's really the only thing I could think of was the relationship stuff. It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
The Shellyak aliens are fine. They serve their purpose. At least they aren't another dude with crap glued to his forehead.
It's true.
They are sufficiently snooty and just obstinate to all of Picard's
Yeah.
pleas for clemency, which really makes you love it when Picard gives them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah. I think we talked about it, but that's always kind of the running thing in Star Trek is that like the alien entity that's very basic and rudimentary in form,
Yeah.
they're the ones that are always like really like proud of themselves and humans are, nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like that's kind of like the running thing, and that's fine.
That's true. I don't know why it took so long for the Enterprise to look at the treaty at the heart of this entire conflict. To
Yeah.
Will's question on why didn't they look at the treaty, I have no idea. Reading this for suckers makes them look kind of stupid.
Yeah, you mean why didn't Picard look at the treaty?
I don't know. They like kind of start to kind of paint the idea that like it's so long and so wordy that it's like, where do you begin? But at the
Hmm.
same time, it's just like, just have Data read it before you go send him down to the planet.
Yeah, Data can read things and then remember the entire thing. So,
Right. And then just be like, you can clearly talk to him on the planet and then just be like, hey, we're running into this issue. Is there any loopholes in the treaty? And he's like, here are 5 of them. You're like, I got it.
Data, we can't talk to you right now. We're trying to read.
Right.
I don't know what you're gonna do down there. We
You
can't. We're
have
trying
the
to read.
you have the lives of 15,000 people in your hands. We're reading up here. Leave us alone.
Yeah, well, that's the other funny thing about like reading the treaty, like taking so long to read the treaty. It's like, it's not like there's 15,000 people that you
No.
like are depending on you
No.
to read a piece of paper. It's just so boring.
It's so wordy and
It's
complex.
just too many words.
I mean, not like words. He says, it's whatever. Gotta keep the drama going, I suppose. The solution to the problem is very funny. What a great scene with Picard really milking the call. The Grisella, first and last.
First and last, baby.
Yeah.
I do like that scene, and I also enjoy seeing the Enterprise plaque.
Yeah.
We don't usually get to see it up close that well.
No, we really don't. They really are treating season 3 as a reset. They treat Data like this is the first relationship he has had. Tasha Yar? Who dat?
Who dat?
Data should have taken that lesson of excessive honesty to heart and let that lady down a little easier. It's a great point. It's a very good point. I would have liked that callback to the honesty thing. That would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked watching Data try and convince the colony. I liked Geordi and the boy working on the transporter. And Picard is trying to run interference to buy time. Really felt like the entire crew was integral to finding a solution to the problem, even if some of the solutions turned out to be Hail Mary busy work in the end.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's true. No,
It did feel like the whole crew had a responsibility.
Yeah, like they were trying to figure it out. Yeah. And I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. Well, we thank both of them for their comments on our reviews. We appreciate with them once again being Patreon supporters. Helps keep this thing afloat. And we had many new subscribers to the channel, putting us at 500. Amazing.
Woo.
But YouTube let me know the 2 latest subscribers, and they are John Warfin. Thank you, John Warfin. And Connie Coutier.
Nice.
We appreciate you both for subscribing.
Thank you.
Hope you continue to find something that you like on the channel. But without any further ado, let's get straight into the review. So, open up with a distress call. It's always fun. We get Troy in a new uniform.
Yeah, we do.
She's like in a kind of teal dress kind of thing.
Now she can really sense stuff.
Yeah, stronger.
Faster.
Yeah, it's really funny that she can now yet again sense thousands of people at a great distance.
Well, yeah, because she needs to this episode.
Right. It's a great opening, but it just made me laugh where it's like they're just like looking at the planet and then Wesley finds the square of land and it's just
Yeah.
like could you really imagine finding a plot of lawn in a structure on like a planet wide like absolutely devastated planet? It's like, oh, but this place is totally fine and thriving. You're like, no, no, that's not
Yeah. No, that's not. That's definitely fake.
yeah, made me laugh.
Yeah. So at first, right, I didn't understand. So first of all, Beverly, she's on the bridge now. So that's
Yep,
good.
yep, just like Bones.
Just like Bones. So happy about that. And I didn't understand, like, they show the surface of the planet and she's just like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "It's a desert planet.
Yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
is that like is that a bad thing?" Like
Right,
it
right.
wasn't if it was like craters and like, nuclear fallout or something. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh wow. But it's just like they zoom in on it and it just looked like a mountainous region of like Earth. And I was like, okay. And she's like, oh my God, how could this have happened? And I was just like, I don't understand what you're talking about yet. I need more like context. Like, did
Yeah.
this used to be like a rainforest planet? Did it used to be like,
I think there was a brief line somebody talked about it, like Riker maybe, where they said that it was like a very verdant, like very full, like
okay,
green planet. Yeah.
all right. So I may have missed that, but it was just funny to me.
Sensors are scanning 90 degrees of longitude as we orbit. I am detecting no bodies of water, no vegetation, no artificial structures.
There are a couple top-down views and a couple other angles where it does just kind of look like desert, mountain ranges. But I guess
Yeah.
if you miss that context of them saying like this used to be a beautiful planet, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Wait till you guys see this planet. You're gonna love it. It's a paradise, luscious vegetation, waterfalls. I could have used that a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe I missed it, but that's just funny.
yeah. It's a good go into the musical intro where they're like,
Yep,
da da. Let me come back, and I think this might be right. Will this be the first time we display our new prompt?
I think so.
Because Troy senses plot but can't quite define it this early in the episode.
Doesn't understand how to explain plot. I feeling plot.
There's plot here, but I can't
I
tell
sense
you
two
it.
people, but there's something different about them as people.
Yeah, it was good.
I can tell that they're people,
And they're different.
but not like people that I know.
Shut her up, shut her up.
Some kind of other people.
She's searching my mind.
do 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 do.
I thought the angle, like camera sweep thing that they did for the beam-in was kind of interesting, where they like show them beaming down in the transporter room, and then it cuts to like a angled view of the
Yeah,
Uxbridge's like property, and then it's like and it
it
kind
was
of like
good.
sweeps in, and they're all beaming down. That was pretty interesting.
So they beam in,
Yeah,
and my brain immediately was like, why is this so like, why does this look so high definition? This looks so weird for some reason. Like it was bright, it was like crisp lighting. Then I was like, it's not a sound stage. They're like they
yeah,
legitimately beamed to like a place on Earth.
yeah,
It's real. Okay, yeah. Wow, that looks way different.
yeah.
It
They finally
feels
went
almost
on
more like
location.
grounded. Yeah, I was like, man, that looks really strange because it wasn't, cardboard rocks and stuff and fog. It's always cardboard rocks and fog and like,
Yeah, yeah.
a couple dead trees. That's what I'm used to.
New World.
So having like trees actually like swaying in the breeze and like an
Yeah,
actual built house, I was just like, what is this? It's disgusting. Where's the fog machine?
This isn't the Star Trek I know. Disgusting. Putrid.
It was really funny
I want to.
how
I
much
want to be able
different it
to.
looks.
I want to be able to make out the paper mache on those
Yeah.
trees.
I want to see the hand crinkles in the rocks. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's very funny. That's very true too. I kind of like that Worf when he's talking to Riker when they first beam down. He kind of like scoffs at there's a low yield phaser in the
Mhm.
front part of the room. He's like pointless. Yeah, but then a pretty funny thing happens, right? Like Riker gets trapped while Geordi is trying to warn him, and he gets strung up
Yeah,
into the air.
pretty good.
It's always a thing where I don't know. I like it and it's fun and it's like it's an interesting way of getting those people outside and then dealing with them and like introducing them. But I'm also kind of like he doesn't anticipate the Enterprise coming, so he doesn't put it there because of the Enterprise.
A good point.
Later we learned who the invaders were, so you would think that he wouldn't irritate them further, plus they don't exist, which we'll get into, and then
Yeah,
made like a trap in the yard. But other than that, it's like,
whipped up booby traps quick.
yeah, it's like, but why wouldn't he just keep doing that throughout the whole episode when Picard keeps returning?
I
Like
don't
booby
know.
trap the lawn more, or whatever. It's just like, it's a cool thing and I like it because it's fun to watch, Riker hang upside down and be like, I'm Commander Riker from the Enterprise. Like he's just talking like
Yeah.
it's not really a big deal. But at the same time, I kind of was like, why is there a booby trap in the man's lawn? Like,
Do you want me to take him out, sir?
no. And then the other thing was the thing that was really creepy was Data just starts to provide like way too much private information
Yeah,
to those people. And it was
yeah.
that's really unnerving.
I read all the logs.
Yeah. It's like, oh well, I know this person, I know this person, I know this.
I know you. You're 85 years old.
They're all like, yes. Like,
Says here you died recently.
oh, interesting.
Interesting. And there's no record of you in any of the Federation. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what did like the aliens come down and blow up your planet or?
Yeah. There's an interesting exchange between Riker and him where he's like, Kevin Uxbridge is like, well, you don't think that I made some sort of deal with the invaders that left
He
us.
immediately, yeah.
And Riker's like, I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to understand why your property was left
Yeah.
fine.
Although that's such a weird place to go immediately that now I do think that you did that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I really enjoyed Worf just being so pleased that the phaser didn't work like at all, and he was like holding him up with that and the gun and the booby trap, and he was just like,
Yeah.
the unmitigated gall. And he's like, oh, it didn't fool you, and he's like, enough gall.
There's
Yeah.
some good Worf this week, which
Oh
is
man, some great one.
this was nice. The running bit, right? Like it's past this, but it's like him on the ship, and he's like, "Well, the
Oh.
Andorians could get away with that because they didn't have me looking for them." And then like that ship shows up out of nowhere, and he's like, Captain, listen, I don't. This isn't my fault. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere."
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's very good.
It always made me wonder in this episode. So like Data picks up like that music globe thing and he's just like enjoying it or whatever. He's looking at it because I guess
Yeah.
he can enjoy things. He's just looking at it. And then the music starts and I'm like, okay, so it's another booby trap, but only for telepathic people? Like it's always a thing I've always wondered like
So
how does it get there?
here's my interpretation of that. The music box is legitimately his wife's music box that she loved when she was alive.
Okay.
And now that Deanna's trying to read his thoughts, he's using the music from the music box to drown out her telepathic abilities. Because that's like, the only music that he really knows or remembers. So he's sending it like through his brain to her brain. But like he's just using that as a reference because that's like his wife probably played it all the time, the music box. So I don't think the music box itself is like a booby trap that she's in because she hears it even when it's not like open and working. It's a constant thing. So I think he's projecting it to her brain constantly.
Yeah, that's a good point. It just felt like, Data looks at it and then all of a sudden she's just like, that's weird. And then it just kind of builds from there. So
Yeah, it could be just bad timing, but
yeah, it is a good point. I did like though that after Riker, explores the house and he's like, "This is just a house. Like I don't really get it."
yeah, I don't know what he was expecting to find in there.
Yeah, like aha,
Oh,
Romulans.
there's an entire shield in the basement that
And
makes
then
the entire house not blow up.
and then Mrs. Uxbridge is like, "Oh yes, that's right. We have a cloak in the basement. That
Yeah.
probably is what saved us."
Don't tell us we're the only ones that survived. Do you
Yeah.
know why? Do you know what? I don't think so. Why are these shields active? Oh, nobody
Oh.
else activated the shields on the house?
Oh man, yeah. But I liked after he does all that he gives them his comm badge and he's kind of like nice to them and he's just like we'll be in the area for several days and I don't know, it just was like a nice thing to add for his character instead of him just being like whatever, I guess if you don't want to leave, you're weird. Then he just beams up. It's like he kind of
Yeah.
tries to be kind to them.
Yeah. So here's my one like negative thing of like Starfleet
Yep.
is like they don't police the galaxy, right?
No.
It's a bit
Right,
is a big
right.
joke, you know.
Yep.
But also like they 100% police the galaxy
Yep.
and they evict people from their homes if they deem it,
Yeah.
not safe. It's like, why can't they live there? I don't understand. They're like, all right, go ahead and pack your stuff. Like, what do you mean pack our stuff? Like, well, you can't live here.
Yeah. Do I want? Well, I guess we're already. I guess we're talking about it. So I
It's
wrote later when Worf and Picard come back down.
yeah,
And we'll jump ahead to that briefly. And I literally wrote in my notes it's an interesting dilemma. They don't want to leave, they're practically fine with dying, and have been relatively polite to the away teams that have come down. It's like,
yeah,
what do you do? Do you stay in orbit and essentially, like, force them to do what you think is the right thing to do, or do you leave them alone?
yeah.
It's a unique situation because them being the only, like literally the only thing on the planet that has any type of
Hmm.
life to it is intriguing and it does make you want to go like, well, why is this a thing? But also
Right.
when you investigate and you don't find anything really of note, it's like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing of substance that like was said was that everybody else on the planet wanted to fight back, but and he didn't.
Right.
So, just use that and be like, well, I guess that makes sense why you were the only one not destroyed,
Right.
or whatever. But, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think that makes a good episode, that dilemma, that question. I'm not saying it's, Starfleet is
Right.
wrong.
Right.
I think that's what makes it a good episode is a good question, a good moral dilemma. It's just funny because it's like these people live here, and even though there's nothing on the planet, their
Yeah.
house is fine, their yard is fine, and they're
Right.
both like 90 years old. So it's not like, well, you're not going to be able to survive here for the next 40 years. Like, well, yeah, no, but we probably will until we die.
Right.
So just let us be.
Yeah, I think like, 'cause Riker comes back up, he says that they only have like a small garden, but wouldn't give them much food. He basically doesn't really know why they're staying there because like their water table is like tainted, like they don't have clean water.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, I don't really get their whole like staunch approach to like staying on the planet because they don't really have a means to survive at all, really, for at least for an
Right.
extended time.
Yeah. But again, whatever. That's their right. That's
Yeah.
their right as human beings if they want to like die there.
Yeah.
Like that's their home, that's their planet. Everybody else is dead. Like we want to die here. Like that's none of your business, Starfleet. Like you can't, well, pack your bags. We gotta take you to the space station.
Yeah, right.
Like, no thanks. It's just funny. It's just two episodes in a row now where Starfleet comes in. They're like, hey, you know how you lived here your whole life? Well, pack a bag.
Yeah. It is funny because like they're both episodes of something bad happened and these people have survived despite the hardship and the bad conditions, and then
Yeah,
Starfleet's like, well, you
too
can't be
bad.
here. I mean, the Shellyak come in and make it more pressing, but
That's 100% different. Yeah.
it's a very, I mean, really just if the ship in orbit that attacks them wasn't Kevin Uxbridge's like mind creation,
Yeah.
it would be that episode again, basically.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny too. that if he would have just explained it from the beginning, the episode would have been
Yeah,
over.
I also agree with you. I feel like I know that like at the end he's like, well,
I
I
couldn't have
don't
told you these deep secrets.
right, and he kind of does like a double take when he looks at Beverly about whether or not he should say anything.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's such a unique situation that
But it's
like
almost like he's hiding it like Starfleet's never heard of aliens.
yeah, true.
It's like if this was like a modern day Earth and this guy was like, well, I've been an alien on Earth for the past 40 years and
Right.
I didn't want to let the secret out. It's like, no, like Starfleet is aware of aliens and
Right, and
he's like,
also powerful aliens, right?
yeah. And he's like, no, I just have been living as a human and I actually loved a human. And now that like she's dead, like I just want to die here. And it's like, okay, well, thank you for,
Right.
telling us. We'll leave you alone now. But this
Yeah.
like elaborate, like, well, I'll make a ship and then they'll have to fight this ship. And then, then they'll be like, well, this ship could come back and kill you. So now we have to make you leave. It like
Yeah.
really backfired, and it's like just tell them you're an alien and you want to live on the planet, and everybody's gone. And I created a fake version of my wife because I'm lonely.
It's also weird that he does that again, because that's the whole thing that like brought about everybody dying was him like
Yeah,
basically screwing with people, and it's like, okay, but that clearly made people like stick to the planet further and like come and destroy and kill everybody. So
yeah,
like being that assertive is like not a good idea.
yeah. It's also one of those things too, where it's like, so if he's such a powerful entity, like he could have just left the planet.
Right. Yes.
Even like when Starfleet comes down for the first time, and it's like, well, this isn't going to be good. I don't want to deal with this. Like he could have just gone and created his house and wife on a different planet somewhere,
Yep.
like immediately. But obviously that stuff makes it so you don't have an episode. So,
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
so
Well, that was the thing. I liked how when we come back from it, going all the way back to what we were talking about, and now they're at the conference room and like Troy's at the table. I really liked that Riker is like leaning onto the table and he is just staring at Troy because it's like it's very obvious that she's distressed. And I like the fact that I've heard in interviews and I've read that like even though the writers and some of the producers like didn't care about furthering the Riker Troy like relationship, they as
yeah,
actors would make sure to make choices or do things themselves to be like, you wrote that we have a relationship, so we're gonna keep building on it.
that's cool.
So like, because when you watch the scene, they don't talk to each other. Riker and her don't say anything. He just stares at her the whole time. Like his back is completely to Picard.
Yes.
And even when Picard talks to him, he doesn't really like, he kind of like leans his head and like tilts his head and looks back at him, but he doesn't like sit straight up in his chair. So
Yeah.
it's a cool sequence to like watch him just kind of like Jonathan Frakes like react like when she's rubbing her head early in the scene. He makes like a face like that doesn't look good. Like he looks concerned and in like a caring way, like somebody who has romantic feelings for somebody.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that they did that. That's cool.
Yeah. And I also like that when Troy is like, "Can I please go to my room? I don't feel good." Like Picard doesn't like he's just like, "Yeah, of course, it's okay." Like I like that he was just really kind.
I like that he goes in and checks on her too.
Yes, also that, yes.
Like I don't understand too, like going along like what we were saying about, the guy alien not revealing himself. I don't understand why Deanna insists on like keeping this a secret.
Yes. Right? That was a
Because
thing.
like
Yes.
it's a big thing that's going on this planet and there's already weird stuff going on and she just refuses to tell anybody that like yeah I'm being plagued by just constant music. It's very unnormal and it's like making me go insane.
Yeah, I almost got annoyed too because like when he shows up in her quarters and he's like, "Hey, I'm just checking on you." And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm just tired." And he's like
Just tired, just brushing my hair. You know how I do.
and he's like, "No, that's not what's happening." And then she goes on to reveal it to him because it's not like when he asks her and she describes that she can hear music because she starts to say, "Oh, it's so silly. I just have." And Picard's like, "Well, yeah, we've all had a song stuck in our head. Like I get it." And then she goes on to like really explain like how terrible it is. It's like, Well, if you
Yeah.
already think that way, then
Yeah.
you should be telling somebody about it. If you think it's just a weird melody stuck in your head, then yeah, I get it. I get that you're like, I'm just, it's silly to bring it up, but you don't
Yeah.
fully think like that. You think like, no, it doesn't, it's not, I've never heard the song. It's inside my mind. Like it
Yeah,
never
it's getting
stops.
louder, constantly getting louder. Yeah. It's almost like somebody's making me like
Yeah.
leave
It's
this
almost,
area.
it's almost like somebody is forcing me to hear this song and I don't, and they're trying to distract me.
That was crazy too. Even like when they induce her like into a coma and she's still like hearing like that's
That's
like horrible, man.
yeah, time to torture Deanna, basically.
That's what you get for reading people's brains.
That's right. Well, I was thinking in this moment, I know it's a little silly to think, but it reminded like when she's like, I can't deal with it. I tried to think of him and my mind is tortured. I was like, so funny to think that in like, I don't know, 15 years or less, that Picard, like Patrick Stewart, is going to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be a character who's reading people's minds and people like torture him and she's in my mind. It's like,
I have to put on Cerebrum
yeah, exactly.
and find the mutants.
It's really funny.
It's pretty good.
Just,
I never even thought about that. I wonder if he pulled a lot from like Deanna,
maybe he might have.
like acting choices, you know?
You said it. We kind of just said it and ran, but I thought it was pretty cool that they at least mentioned Andorians. That was a nice
It was
little.
cool. It was nice, you know. The Andorians used to take their ships apart to hide them, like in space. Yep, that's how crazy the Andorians are.
Yeah,
They would dismantle their ship and they would stay in their spacesuits. They couldn't hide from me. I'm a Klingon, like my father before me and his
so what did you
father
think
before
when
him.
the very first time the ship arrived? Like, what did you think?
I liked the ship. I didn't really think anything at that time.
Okay,
Like I legitimately just kind of thought that ship was back, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think of anything too crazy at the moment. It was very interesting that like it is bigger than the Enterprise, but it didn't really do any damage the first time.
yeah. When it shoots and Worf's like, it did
Yeah.
400 megawatts of energy damage. Shields are
Yeah.
still holding. And you're like, okay, like, how did this thing destroy a planet?
Yeah, I think I did think that like he made a deal with these aliens, or maybe he was part of this alien group and he was on the planet and he that was like his mission was to the planet, you know, that kind of thing.
I could totally see that. I wish there were times I was kind of like you and like could like think about it for the very first time. Because the second I see this episode, I know what it is, and then when you see the
Right.
ship and they're going through the whole like, oh, it's so weak and so wimpy, I don't know, understand it at all. I'm just like, yeah, you guys don't know, but it's
It's
just
almost like a projection, too.
yeah, that mystery, the chase the mystery is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yep, it's true.
So I assumed he had something to do with it, but I just assumed it was bad at the moment.
And I think they do a good job at trying to get you to believe what you're saying because Picard comes back from Troy's room and he comes off the turbo lift and he sees the big ship. He's like, "What's this, Mr. Worf?" And then Worf's like, well, and he's like stumbling and Picard is kind of like, interesting, idiot." He doesn't say too much to Worf, but he basically indicates like,
Yeah.
guess you couldn't.
Ah,
Guess you're
yeah.
not as good as you think you are, kind of a thing.
Apparently, the Andorians could have pulled a fast one over you as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. And then it's matching their acceleration curve, and they can't catch up to it. And then it's kind of this point where Picard is like, "This is weird. Turn back around and go back." And Riker's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Nah, just turn around and go back." And Riker's like, "Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
guess
gotta
this
talk to
one."
the residents.
Yeah, and it's a thing where this isn't like too huge of a captain call that makes you go like, this doesn't make any sense, but it's interesting.
It is, yeah, and it's just one of those things where it's like I've seen Picard not pick up on simpler things,
Yes, yes,
and it's like, okay, so now he's like, now he's a genius.
yeah,
And that's fine to have the captain be, like this, but like you have to get me there. You can't just one episode be like,
right,
yes, I understand what's going on.
yeah,
Maybe like I joked about it, but maybe it is because he has dealt with Q more than anybody else on the ship. Maybe he can sense these
Possible.
higher energy aliens, or gets a weird feeling. I don't know. It's just because what
You
did
know
he
what?
have to go on? He saw the ship. He saw
Yeah,
that Deanna was being plagued by music,
yeah,
and that's about it. I mean, that's really
right.
all he had to go on.
Right. All he had, like you said, was that this thing exists on a desolate, destroyed world, that those
The
people
patch,
don't want to
yeah,
leave, and that they couldn't survive for very long because they don't have a means to live, that his counselor is being bothered heavily by music playing in her head as soon as they got to this planet. And now there's a ship that isn't strong enough to hurt the Enterprise and that is moving away from the Enterprise at a high speed or away from the planet at a high speed as if it's trying to just draw them away. It's like
right,
you can be suspicious and it's fine, but I think honestly, maybe retroactively, might have been interesting if Picard he put together that he was this Dowd thing.
yeah,
Like he went into his quarters and was like, there's a thing that he remembers in the back of his head of like another starship like 200 years earlier like came across an energy being blah blah blah, and this was the circumstances, and it sounds very similar, and he's like referencing old captain's logs, and but in the captain's log it's like, well, it's kind of like an urban legend, like it's nothing was ever proven. It's like this captain said all of this stuff, but no, Starfleet could never like prove that what the captain was saying. And so then he
yeah.
gets suspicious, and like he feels like he needs to answer that captain's question, kind of a thing. Like he becomes, because of the whole Dixon Hill stuff, like he gets really invested into the investigating.
I like that. I think that would be cool. Like, look, seeing him like read something on his computer or tablet, I think would have helped
Yes.
explain why he had more of a feeling than everybody else. Because everybody else on the crew thinks that he's crazy,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
and it's like, and he's not really explaining anything because, plot, but like everyone's like, "What are you doing, Captain?" He's like, "It doesn't matter. I'll take care of it."
Yeah. Well, this is the halfway point to go down to the comment section and write a song that always gets stuck in your head
Oh boy.
so that Caleb and I can have it stuck in our head. So Picard goes
Whatever.
down to the planet and he's like, and they're down there doing something, and he's got like the like glowing machine,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, I've brought you a replicator and we're
Don't
gonna
need it.
yeah. We don't want that. We don't like it.
Don't need your garbage.
And then, Mrs. Uxbridge is like, well, that sounds delightful. And
It's funny that she's his creation.
yeah,
And she like loves Starfleet and the idea of them like helping her, and it's
right.
very
I
funny.
I totally know what you mean, but I do think that like that was like a part of his flaw was he wouldn't change who she is.
Yeah, because I think she specifically would have
Right. Because even telling
wanted,
Picard
yeah,
in this scene that she wanted to fight and he didn't want to.
right. That's why he knows.
Yeah.
So she's dead.
Yeah. But the part that's really funny is so they go in and they're all sitting there and they're all just sitting around and talking, and Picard and Worf are listening to her talk about how they met each other and all these things and blah. And then she's like, how do you like the tea, Mr. Worf? And it cuts to him sitting on that couch in this like lady's house, and she's just hanging out, and he drinks it, and he clearly hates it, but he's trying so hard to not show that he hates it. And then
Yeah,
he
it's
just
good.
kind of like, good tea. Then he like looks around just to like anything else to say, and he's like, Nice house." But the thing that also made me laugh was that his pinky is out.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like, dude, that's such a if Michael Dorn was like, nah, I got this. I love him for it because it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Worf?
Good tea. Nice house.
He seems like he really understands like the character that he's playing and would totally improvise
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yep. I think this episode is going to get all three of our new prompts. I think we get a I feel plot earlier. I think this scene gets a delicious.
Yeah.
And then I think what we were talking about when Picard basically, when we get there, we'll talk about that prompt. So the good tea thing happens. We already kind of talked about the dilemma. The other ship shows, but another ship. The ship shows up again. Riker says it looks a lot nastier, meaner, I think is what he says. It's like way worse. They fly away and come back. I thought it was really weird that there's like Beverly is now like, so now we're pretty far ahead. Beverly and Picard are in the room, and Beverly has put Deanna to sleep, and you can tell that she's still hearing the music. And Beverly's like, I don't know what else to do. And Picard's like, you don't know how to like stop this. And she's like, well, I'm not a telepath. I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, so there's not a single other telepath on the ship. No one has any idea. Like, there's no Vulcans. There's
I
no
wouldn't. No,
Betazoids.
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do like a Vulcan mind meld or anything to like relieve her.
No.
No, no Betazoid. She's the only Betazoid in Starfleet. So
Yeah, I could get it if it was like a small ship, but they have like thousands of people on board, and it's like you're telling me there's not a single other telepath on the ship.
nope.
I do like though that Picard is kind to Worf about earlier when he like later in the episode when the ship
Yeah,
appears again, he's like, "It's okay, Worf. Like, there's no way you could have known that this thing was going to be a thing." Doesn't
yeah,
explain to him why that's true, but just tells him like, "Don't worry about it."
yeah. Because it shows up and he's like, Captain, I don't understand how this ship keeps appearing. He's like, doesn't matter. You don't understand. I've already figured it out.
Yeah. He goes back down. He does the part that you talked about where he says, "Oh, are you dancing? What a wonderful,
Oh, you weren't expecting to see us, huh? Interesting, interesting. Because it's a
interesting."
funny scene when the ship like blows up the planet again, and they're like,
Oh,
sir, the ship blew up the planet, and they're both dead. And he's like, excellent. Go out into space, and we'll just wait.
yeah.
You're like, what?
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was interesting when he comes down, when he says the line of like, "We, the Enterprise, will just stay in orbit until both of you die." Like, he gives them this
Yeah,
ultimatum. But I thought before that happens, him saying, like, him trying to pit Mrs. Uxbridge against him, Kevin, it's like
yeah.
such an interesting, it's so weird of him to, like, kind of do. It's not a good idea to really pit spouses against each other. Like, if they seem happy, like, why would you think that that's going to work? Like, yes, she
It's
said some things, but
it's one of those things where it's like men are stubborn, and it's like if he can really show him that like his wife is scared and she wants to be safe,
yeah.
then he's going to go along with it and leave the planet, you know?
Yeah, I just feel
So,
like at the point
yeah,
when
it's just
he
weird.
comes down with Worf again for the second time and he does that, she's already kind of shown her resolve to stay with her husband
Yeah.
regardless of what's happening. And it kind of just feels like Picard is grasping at straws to like
Yeah.
figure this thing out.
I think what he's doing is he's antagonizing him to make his theory like, flush his theory out. So he does that and he's like, "Well, we're gonna stay up here until you're dead." And
Right.
then and then they're up on the Enterprise and the ship comes back like right on cue, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Uh-huh." So it's
Schedule.
like he's right on schedule. Yeah. So it's like, he's proving a theory, right? Yeah, and that's why everybody else is
Good
like they're
point.
so shocked, like everybody's dead now. Like and he's like, uh-huh. Oh yes, very dead. Because right,
Yeah.
that's exactly what he told him. Like, I'm not leaving until you're dead. And he's like, well, we're dead now. And he's like, well, still not leaving.
Then he's like, fire a single torpedo at the ship, and it explodes. And he's like, number one, what reason do we have to stay at random 4? And he's like, well, the Uxbridges are
None.
dead.
Yeah,
The ship is
nothing now.
destroyed. Very good. I'll be in my ready room. Go to high orbit. See you later. Yeah, it's a thing where it doesn't make any sense that he doesn't keep at least his bridge crew informed to what he knows. It's almost like the only thing I could say in defense of the writing of it is perhaps Picard thought because Deanna is being tortured and he somehow has put it together that this guy is like an alien who can make constructs and stuff like that he felt like he couldn't say
Mm.
it out loud because he was like listening to him or something.
Yeah, maybe he could have, if everybody on the bridge knew, he could have telepathically like picked up on it. It's a good
Right.
point. Yeah.
possible, but they don't really explain that. They just,
No.
yeah. I do really like the line, though. I don't know why I did. Maybe it's just because it's a funny sounding word, but I really like the line when Worf is like, the house has been obliterated. Yeah, it was good. Well, before we conclude the review, let's now get into some short trivia.
Oh, not again. All right, now you're overacting.
So yeah, the outdoor scenes in this episode were shot at a beach house in Malibu, California.
Yep. I knew it. Yeah, because I was looking at the set and I was like, did they try to find weird, stupid, like futuristic looking chairs, or is this legitimately just some horrible like artist's house in like California during the 80s? And this was just how they rented it.
Yep. So here's a picture of Jonathan Frakes getting ready to get caught up in the whatever like rope trap.
Dang.
So basically what they do is have him act out the scene where his leg goes up in the air and he hits the air mattress. And then they have another gentleman, I think his name was like Dana something, Dana Hooks or something like that, where he's a stunt double and then he's the one who gets like fully strung up and like slams into the pole. Yeah.
And then they hang Jonathan upside down so he can talk to the guy.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Les Landau recalled while filming, the director, he said, "We were on location for a day. It made not only the audience, but the crew happy. When you're tied to shooting indoors every day, it gets monotonous.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to go out to Malibu, and we had a beautiful summer day. I think it was unique. I think it was a unique story for Star Trek and one of my best works to date."
So they filmed all the scenes at the house in one day. That's crazy.
Yep, get as much as you can. But I think genuinely people like just like you were like, man, this is really nice to look at. I think everybody else was also like, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, being on a soundstage all day would be horrible.
Yeah, for like, I don't even know what, I think they had like 16-hour filming days. So it was like you do that for 5, 6 days a week and then have like a day or two off and then
You
back.
go in to work like when it's dark and then you're inside all day and then when you leave it's dark.
Yes, exactly.
That's fun.
That's great. John Anderson, who played Kevin Uxbridge, also had lost his own wife only a year before appearing in Survivors.
Oh man.
So because of this, he literally almost turned down the role.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we want you to pretend to dance with it. Did you and your wife used to dance? Are you gonna cry a lot? You gonna cry a lot like a little baby? Yeah. Nope. You got it. You got the role. You're so sad. Oh, that guy's a good actor. No, we killed his wife last week.
Oh no. We wanted John Anderson so badly.
We killed his wife and we told Wesley he had to be here and he couldn't film other movies.
Nope.
Aren't we just hysterical?
And some say that the lawyer, Roddenberry's lawyer, was worse than us. If they only knew the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to end on that low of a note. So here's like I think it's like what do they call it? Like a story panel by Dan Curry. A sequence in the episode. Thought you would appreciate just kind of seeing how they write things out.
The ship turns that way. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. Good drawings. Nice panels. Yeah, that's cool. I like seeing that stuff.
Good stuff. Well, that was trivia for this week. We'll cut back to the episode. I thought it was really weird that Riker doesn't come into the ready room or talk to Picard for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was really strange. I could get like a few minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever. But 3 hours, you don't talk to him at all and like try to understand what is going on. Like, why are you making us stay here?
Hey, everybody's worried about you. Not Worf, though. He's fine.
No, Worf is happy to do it, right? He definitely doesn't
Why
are we looking at this?
Why are we looking at these stupid monitors? Those people who made Disgusting Tea are dead. Let's just leave.
Right.
Let's just leave.
Okay. So I try hard not to like pick apart the show in the sense of like some of the realism that they just can't encapsulate because of it being the 80s, or and also just a highly produced, like a fast-paced produced television series in the 80s.
Yeah.
They cut to LeVar Burton on the back wall. So on the back wall, right, it's the console, and there's an engineering display, and it's clearly either showing the Enterprise's shields or the Enterprise's like warp bubble that it can like create. It's a picture of the Enterprise.
Yeah, it's just stationary.
Right. And there's a Lakar button flashing. And so he turns, he looks at it, he pokes the blinking button, and then he's like, oh, and then he turns away from it, and then he's like, Captain Picard, you better come and take a look at this. And it's like, what did you look at? What
Yeah.
did you see? And then it's like, there's
That
nothing
house is
there.
back.
Right. And then when he comes out, he's like, the house is back. And I think really it just came down to the fact of like, don't show the council. Just show him sitting there. And he's like, the camera is the computer screen. And he's like leaning in and like looking. And he's like, and he calls Picard to the bridge.
It's one of those things where, to me, like the LCAR system is like that anyway.
Yeah.
Where it's just a lot of panel. Like it looks really great to look at it, but when you really try to think about like, okay, so how do they get information from this panel? It's like, well, it doesn't really display information. It's just a series of like, brackets and stuff.
Yeah. Tiny little buttons appear, and then it's like it's going to say on it, like, trees have appeared. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it is.
But it is funny, like, just don't show the panel. Show him acting at the panel.
Exactly. They beam up the Uxbridges. Picard doesn't care. And then
we interrupted you, Walt.
I think, honestly, the worst thing about the writing of how Picard was able, like, that Picard is putting these things together. I think the worst bit is the fact that he 100% is, like, incredibly certain that Mrs. Uxbridge is, like, fake.
Yeah.
That's such a big leap for him to even think that.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
yeah, it definitely was.
I can touch you and, I can smell your perfume, but
you're not real.
Like, man, that's a risk. That's a really big risk.
Get your hands
right.
off me.
But yeah, then he lets the guy go down because he feels that he's going to go and help Troy, and he does. But then he still follows in and probably likely orders Beverly to show up too, which is kind of an interesting play where it's like, nah, it's fine. I'm going to sit in the captain's chair and it's totally fine. And then cut to, nope, I'm totally coming and investigating what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I had forgot when he's explaining that he's a Dowd and all of the stuff that we talked about earlier. He's been around for centuries and blah, blah, blah. I was like, as he was talking, he brings out the Husnak, and I was like, oh man, like that seems like a familiar name. Yeah. And I was starting to like type in Husnak like into my phone to like look up if they're ever mentioned again or like anything about them. And then all of a sudden, like as he was talking, he's like, I've killed every single one of them. I was like, oh, that's right. That's why the name stands out. Like there's nothing to learn about them. Yeah.
I killed them all. But I don't like killing, remember.
Don't like it.
Not a fan of killing, but I'll do it.
I'll kill all 50 billion of them. You're like, oh, okay. The thing that I do not get, and maybe you understand it, I did not understand it. Picard is like, we have no law for what crime you've committed.
It's murder.
I'm like, it's called genocide. Like, got it. I've all set. And I get like maybe they're like, well, because you've destroyed the entire like Husnak government, there is no government to say, there are no people to say like, hey, you destroyed us. Like, you know what I mean? There's nobody to that can point a finger. But it's like, but
Yeah.
It's like the Federation can still call into account what he's done. There are obviously logs and things of the Husnak. Like, it's not like he made them up and then destroyed them.
No.
I don't know. He kind of in his captain's log at the end is like, his recommendation is just to leave him alone. And I kind of wondered, like, was that Picard... Did Picard leave him on the planet because he was afraid that basically if you pressed him too much, like he would kill all humans or kill the Federation or something? Like,
yeah,
it was a weird bit. I don't know. I don't know how to end it better because it's like you don't want to make the guy angry because then it feels like you don't want to make him be like, if you don't leave me alone, I'll kill all of your people too. You don't want him to be like that in this episode. but
No, because you want to feel bad for him.
you want to feel bad for him, and you want to like. And it is a moral dilemma of like, is killing 50 billion people worse than them killing 11,000 people? And it's like, obviously, but at the same time, like, circumstances are different.
Yeah.
But
at least now it's equal, right? I don't know.
I guess. I mean, not really, but I guess. Because, like, he destroyed a whole species. They only killed like 11,000 humans or colonists or whatever. It's like, I'm fine with the ending of him being left alone on the planet and, like, don't talk to this guy anymore. But at the same time, I don't really get why they don't, like, charge him with crimes. They don't overly explain it. And Picard's line of, like, well, there's no way we could possibly incriminate you upon this. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, the line of like, well, there's no name for the crime you committed. It's like, well, yeah, there is actually, but
genocide isn't a thing in the future.
Nope, it's not. So, I mean, the idea of like, well, we can't really do anything about it is kind of true because like, what are you gonna do? You can't like put him in prison. He's a powerful alien entity. He can just leave. He can just like, you're not gonna like hold him captive or discipline him.
Right.
Also, you don't get involved in that stuff, right?
Yeah, we don't police the galaxy.
You don't police the galaxy. You're not gonna go put alien up for war crimes, right? I mean,
yep.
None of your business. It's not, they weren't humans on the colony. It's aliens fighting aliens, and now both sides are dead. And oh well, move on. Go look at that nova in the next galaxy that's gonna explode next week, That'll be cool. That'll be a sight to see. I mean, I don't know. Don't ask him to like help you fight the Borg or anything either. That would be stupid.
No.
Hey, we'll let you go.
When we want
blow up some robots. Yeah, when we want people eradicated. You're first on our list.
Yeah. Well, that was the review of our episode. But before we conclude this video, let's first do the thing that everyone's been waiting for.
Caleb?
So, Caleb, who gets the Erica Ortegas Award for being the most unlikable?
That's a tough one. Let's say Beverly this week.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
That'll be fun to watch everybody's head spin.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I
mean, I can explain it. I don't like her sitting on the bridge. I don't like that she doesn't know what Vulcans and telepaths are.
I gotcha.
She doesn't do anything to help this week. I think that's mainly why.
That's fair. Get the doctor off the bridge.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, next is the Elizabeth Cutler Award for the most forgettable character of the episode.
I think I'll do Geordi this week.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, he doesn't do too much of anything but try to warn. He basically almost warns Riker in time of the trap. He catches the thing being rebuilt on the planet, and he sees the energy being of Kevin Uxbridge go into the turbo lift. Like, other than that, I don't think he does much of anything else.
Yeah.
Very good. Hey, next is the Mugatu Award for the best alien of the episode.
Worf.
Can't give it to him.
No. You mean human in tunic, but also he's a ball of glowing light like everything else that we've seen? No, I'm good.
All set.
I just wanted Wesley to stand up and be like, he's beautiful.
Can I kiss
That's what
you?
my girlfriend looks like.
Do you know my girlfriend? Have you seen her? Is she dead?
Yeah. Did she stop the war?
Yeah, no, she died immediately.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like, this is the planet.
Oh.
This is the planet that she was going to stop the two sides from warring. Oh, man.
Yes.
Good stuff.
That would be funny. Well, then, next is the Trip Tucker Award for the MVP of the episode.
I mean, it's got to be Picard.
Yeah.
The only one that figured anything out, somehow.
Almost like Picard was reading the script.
Yeah.
At this point, I understand what's happening. They're like, yes. He's like, got it.
He had his plot glasses on this week.
Yeah. He was drinking a mug of fine plot. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, nobody else had any idea what was going on.
No.
Well, next is the Spock Award for the best line of the episode.
Good tea, nice house is the best line of the episode.
Yeah, it is. There's no way it's not. I don't even know what else you could even substitute it with.
Nothing.
Unmitigated gall is pretty good, but
unmitigated gall.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the funny thing was, and we should say it for the viewers because they would have liked this. So it was a couple days. It was a few days before. It was like Sunday or something. You texted me the gif of him saying, "Good tea, nice house," and I thought you had already watched it, and that's why I texted you back like, "That's what I'm talking about." You know what I mean? Like, there it is. He
Yeah.
watched the episode early, and then you were watching it last night, and you were like, "What?"
I think it was just like when you type in like GIFs in my
Oh yeah,
like one of the first ones,
yeah,
and I thought it kind of was relevant to what we were talking about.
yeah.
So just funny.
It does. Next is the Shran Award for the best action sequence.
When Riker gets hung upside down,
Nice. Yeah.
Wolf says, "Do you want me to disintegrate his face?" And he's like, "No, Wolf. I'd like to talk to him first."
No, I'd like to hang upside down a little bit longer, please.
I don't know why Jonathan Frakes had a bad back most of his life after this.
No. Must have felt really good. They say people who
might
have
have.
bad backing being like stretched out upside down feels pretty good. So maybe it was.
That's why they do all those like in vertigo chair things.
Yeah, true. Next is the NX-01 award for some sweet ship stuff.
I don't know. It's a cop out, but I'll just say that filming at an actual location this week was nice.
It's not a huge cop out. It's not always just ship stuff. We talk about like tech and stuff of that nature. And I think it falls in that realm because we don't really have like a filming location award, and this is a good spot for it. And you did honestly really like it, and I think it should get its own trophy. So yeah, this is a totally fine place for it. It's sweet stuff. It's just some
sweet stuff.
Yeah, cool. I like it. Well, the next is the Porthos Award for the cheesiest thing of the episode.
I think it's Picard knowing that she's not real.
Real? Yeah. No, my darling, I don't believe you here at all. Then she doesn't disappear, and she's like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah. I think that's a little on the nose, a little cheesy.
It's just
like why?
Yeah, they don't give the audience any reason to believe that Picard would have any idea that this.
He just as well could have been her creation,
right?
But it's like, are you saying because like she was so adamant about staying with her husband and like loving him that he's like, nope, women don't act like that. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, lastly, is the Star Trek Enterprise Award for the best scene of the episode.
I like the running bit of Worf saying that he would be able to detect the ship, and then when the ship shows up, he's very like apologetic and like doesn't understand why he couldn't detect the ship.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought that was pretty good.
And do you like the further resolution of Picard being like, yeah, don't worry about it, Mr. Worf, because like, there's no way you could have known.
I do like that. Yeah, I like the whole
that chain of hey, I like it too. It's an interesting little Picard Worf like back and forth with each other, right? Yeah. Especially when we get like a full scene of them walking down the corridor and them talking, and you get.
I like the corridor scene.
Yeah, like the Andorians and all that good stuff. So yeah,
I enjoyed just him and Worf going to the planet.
Yeah, right. Yes,
that was cool.
Yeah, you're with me, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
Plus, everybody knew you had to have good tea, nice house. So the writers were like, "How do we get him back on the planet?"
Yeah, that is the best scene, but I already used it. So
yeah, the thing that makes me laugh is right now they were like the writers' room. Somebody made the joke of like, "Oh man, we'll have Worf comment on the aesthetics of the house," and then somebody was like, "Oh, I got it," and they wrote it down. And they were like, "Okay, we have to somehow make this make sense."
It does. I mean, head of security would go with the captain to the planet.
Yeah. Oh,
it works.
We didn't talk about it. The other prompt was going to be with her being a fake woman, and it was like suddenly he just was like, "Yeah, you're totally fake," and I was like. Yeah, clearly this is the moment when Sam Beckett leaps into his body and is like, "No, she's fake." He knows now. Like Picard totally is a leaped in version of himself.
Yes.
Where it's
suddenly absolutely.
Al is off screen telling him like, "No, like this is all fake."
I knew that's what you were going to use that for. That's good.
Yeah. Well, very good. That was the award ceremony of the episode. We appreciate Caleb taking the time to do that.
Yeah.
It's your turn to go down to the comment section and have your own personal award ceremony where you get to tell us and pressure Caleb into who gets the popcorn award for being the best actor of the episode.
It's always Porthos every
In
week.
Enterprise.
Just nope, even in this.
Yeah, and while you're down there typing away your popcorn award, take a few extra minutes and tell us what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you want more of it? Or did you think that these survivors shouldn't have survived?
Spoiler, Survivor.
Ooh, let us know down below.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Well, next week's episode is episode 4 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and that episode is entitled Who Watches the Watchers?
Oh. Riveting stuff.
So we'll get into that, and I think we can safely say it now and surprise Caleb that we might be getting something special in our inbox from my office. So we'll have that to look forward to as we tackle that.
I can hardly contain myself.
We'll see how that goes.
It's been 98 years.
Oh, no. Yeah, so we look forward to tackling that episode. Should be fun. And as always, if you liked our review of this episode, like the video. If you disliked our review of this episode, dislike the video. Share it with all your friends and family and Trek enthusiasts. Subscribe so you don't miss a review. And ring that bell so you can watch a review as soon as it comes out. And then, when this video is over, if you don't want to stay on our channel, you can always head on over to Caleb's channel. Caleb has a fun prop channel where you can go and follow along instructions and build your own fun props. But there's also a fun thing happening over there where every month him and I talk about Dragon Ball Z, where I'm put on my heels having never seen the show, and he gets to have all the fun of watching me talk about one of his favorite shows.
It's pretty great. Great.
So make sure you go over there and catch a video, maybe perhaps the latest Dragon Ball Z podcast. But while you're over there, find a video, like it, comment on it, leave a suggestion of something for him to make, subscribe, and ultimately, you decide.
Yep. And if you're on this channel and you're saying, hey, where are the TOS movies? Oh, they're on my channel.
So, we appreciate Ed Mark Starr and Captain Alimar once again for being Patreon supporters of the channel. We appreciate everybody doing the fun, excellent things down below and sending our YouTube video out into YouTube stratosphere and getting us seen by other viewers. We appreciate everybody taking the time to do that. And yet again, thankful and grateful for 500 subscribers. Can't believe it. Here we are. Closer and closer to something. So, appreciate everybody for doing that. Yeah, you know it. So, this has been the Retrek review of The Survivors. And computer, play endless music so that our fans don't forget us.
Beam me up, Bubba, this trailer's on fire. Scotty's grilling hot dogs with the plasma wire. We're boldly going, we're no rednecks gone in a double wide spaceship with a rebel song.
Oh my god. I didn't even realize that was playing.
Like playing the band up, oh yeah.
I hate and love this.
Bring me up, Bubba, this trailer's on fire. Scotty's grilling hot dogs with a plasma wire. We're boldly going, we're no rednecks gone in a double wide spaceship with a rebel
song. See you guys!